Made it over here to the shop today. We've been working on my car and Randy's car a little bit, trying to get them ready for Thursday night test and tune at Galot. Randy's has just got a little bit of maintenance. We're going to retorque the heads. They have not been retorqued since we put it back together. So he has got this one side off already. So we're going to go ahead and retorque the heads on his, readjust the valves. My car is getting finished putting plugs in it, putting the valve covers back on, and then we're going to crank mine up and see if mine's ready to go. We're also going to change transmission fluid in both cars. I'll show you why we're going to change it on Randy's. The fluid is still, we've been using hydraulic fluid, and it's still lugging it down just a little bit, even with the 14 gear in it. So we're trying to decide if it needs a little bit more gear. I think we're good on the gear. At first, I was thinking we were going to need a little bit more gear in it, but I don't think that's the case. I'll show you all the data log. We're going to put Type F in it, and what's going to happen with the Type F is it's going to simply loosen the converter just a little bit. We got 3.8% slip at the very, very top, but it's still lugging the motor on the gear change. So I think the typically going from Type F, a regular transmission fluid, to hydraulic fluid is about 200 to 400 RPMs from what we have seen. So I think that's going to get us right exactly where we want to be. That big Ultimate Converter Concepts converter, I think it's an 11-inch bolt together. That thing's just locking up super tight. And it's not like, it doesn't have a lockup feature in it, but it's locking up pretty tight. So 3.8% at the horsepower we're at in the 8th mile is crazy. You know, there's some good converter companies out there, but we're happy, very happy with the way Lenny has got the converter working in this one. I've just got to tune around it and make a couple tweaks here and there. You know, throwing some power at it at those points where it's lugging too, you know, might help if the transmission fluid doesn't do exactly what we want it to do. But I think we're going to be close. So we're going to go ahead and retorque the heads real fast. Shouldn't take but a few minutes. It was due for a valve lash adjustment. He's gone outside now. He's got to get a push rod. This thing has got a monster camshaft in it, so it is very difficult on valve terrain. And so he found a push rod that was beat up a little bit, so he went ahead and he's going to go get a spare. He's got, like I said, he's got spare parts for days on this thing. You can see when he takes it apart, he's pretty particular when he takes it apart. He lays it out, does one side at a time. That way it's easy to put it back together. I mean, this is the easy way to do it. So, but, all right, so check this out. So lightning fast, that one is redone. They weren't really loose. There was a little bit, but not terrible. Randy's taking the other side off now. Something that I do, a lot of people do it a little different. I do one bolt at a time, and I loosen it just a little bit to relieve a little bit of tension, and then retorque it. Some people just torque it right down, you know, straight from where it's at. I mean, it probably doesn't matter. I don't know if it does or not, but that's just the way I do it. Boy, this driver's side, woo, it hurts my shoulder. I am too weak to be pushing. I should have made Randy. Usually I make Randy do this side. Don't I, Randy?
Oh, yeah, I see. I'm on this side.
Yeah, we got swapped. I got suckered this time apparently. I was
call that side apart.
I was too late to the party. That's all right. Anytime you have to push, I mean, we torque these things down to 110 foot-pounds. That's a lot of torque. And it is, I mean, it's a lot, especially when my old shoulder did. I mean, which Randy does have a bad shoulder. So Randy is going to have to.
Crying.
Do what?
I'm crying.
He's crying. Yeah, Randy's crying about his shoulder, but he's going to at some point have surgery. He's got to have a full replacement, he said. So then he really will be down for a little while. But mine ain't there yet, but I'm just weak.
You can drive.
I'm a baby. I ain't driving your car, I'm gonna drive mine. Okay, so I just got this thing. I got the plugs all back in it. Valve covers back on it, so it's ready to crank. All I'll have to do tomorrow night when I get to the track is just change the transmission fluid in mine. All right, let's try to crank this thing cold. I don't know if it's gonna crank or not. Okay. Well, it's correct in a little bit. It's not terrible though. So that right there did spool up though. So I mean, that was pretty clean. That's how much boost it made really quick. All right, so here's the data log. That was much quicker. It was on the two-step that time for a total of like 5 seconds. So I mean, that was much better than it was. I still think there's a little bit of tuning I gotta do. But overall, that right there is much better. So that right there was, started my data log right there when I went full throttle. And then it comes up. It gets to the rev limiter in about 2.5 seconds, 3 seconds. So that's not bad. Right there, it's made 2.5 pounds of boost. That purple line, you can see where it pulled my timing out. And I mean, I didn't let it bang, but just a second. So it was about to go ahead and go up. I was at 6.6 psi at that point. Okay, that's better. I mean, it's much better than what it was. Changed the plugs, adjusted the rocker arms. We'll see how it goes tomorrow night. I do need to change transmission fluid. Transmission fluid is stinky. All right, so there we go. Oh, and there's a couple people that was asking about my lights. In the inside, it's hard to see. It's these rope 12-volt LEDs. And this thing is super bright on the inside, where it's like a champ. Those things have been up there for a while too. Just a little cheap LED 12-volt. You can buy them, I think it was like $15 for like 50 feet or something. I had the rope lights on the engine bay at one point, and then I put these. These are just like from Walmart. I don't even remember what name brand they are. There's some of them that are already going out, you can see, so they must not be very happy about the vibrations either. But I need to put a couple on the edges here. They're really bright. I mean, you can see at nighttime. You don't have to have a flashlight. Another 1 or 2 up front here, and I think we'll be good to go. Okay, so mine's ready. So let's go finish up Randy's. All right, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We got all the heads torqued down, valves adjusted, and this puppy right here is not oiling at all. The push rod was eat up in it, and so we decided we were going to check them all, make sure they're all oiling before we put the valve covers on it, and it is not. So we cleaned it, so we were about to snatch the intake off real fast and see if we can figure out what's going on. I think the lifter is just bad in it, so we'll see. All right, so Randy is scraping all the excess silicone off. We got the lifters. Sometimes you have to groove these from the oil hole to the pressurized port, and these had small grooves cut in them. I just made them just a tad larger. I didn't have a Dremel like I wanted, so it's a little wider than what I normally do, but it's not real deep. It's just enough, hopefully, to get enough oil when these things come out. It just has to pressurize. So we're going to try it. We'll see what happens. They cleaned up. Rollers look fine. Everything looks good down in there. The cup's fine. So I'm thinking maybe we just didn't have this groove cut big enough. The bushing in the block is scored up a little bit, but not bad. So we're going to try this, and if this doesn't work, then we may end up having to take that out. It may be losing the oil by the bushing. Hope not.
Silicone below.
All right, we got that thing working. It looked like maybe it was a bad push rod. We put a different set of lifters in it, still no oil. And we had some spare push rods, and they all were working good, but we changed it. Mark was like, it's a bad push rod. So we changed push rods, and it's for sure oiling now. So I don't understand, don't know, but we got oil now. So we're gonna slap it back together. Okay, so Randy is putting the finishing touches on this one. It's almost back together. So the only thing he's gonna have left to do is tomorrow, same thing, change the transmission fluid. And the reason we need to change transmission fluid, I'm just gonna show y'all this graph real fast. Red is RPM and purple is boost. And you can see this thing, when it gets out there, takes off, that's this, and then it flashes up, and then the converter, it lugs it right here. And so when it lugs, and it's not much, but you can see it loses boost, and then it comes back, and then it shifts, and then comes down, and then this lug right here, and then it starts climbing. And the finish line was, you know, on out here. So, I mean, that was, we were on it for 4.8 seconds. So, I mean, that's what I needed to do is I need this to all happen a little sooner. I'm trying to get this spot right here out from the shift, which was at 2.59, about a second. It lugs at 7,900 RPM. So that's what I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to get that little lug out. So I'm hoping changing the transmission fluid, getting the high guard out, or the hydraulic fluid, getting it out and putting type F in it, it's gonna fix that. So we'll see. But we are, we're ready to go. This thing will be hopefully together tomorrow, finished. It's gonna be ready to crank back in a few minutes. We got oil at all our rocker arms. Mine is ready and strapped down. I just got to change transmission fluid at the track. So I think that's what Randy's going to end up doing too, changing transmission fluid at the track. We'll get all this back together. You know, just put the wire connections on. I don't know if you guys remember, if y'all have not seen yet, these EFI connection, my little tags that I made. I don't have a ton of those left. So if y'all are interested, I'm probably not going to make any more. So follow the link in the description below. EFItags.com. These things are super handy. EFI tags, shameless plug, makes it easy to put everything back together when those old paper tags are not off of it. All right, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see y'all tomorrow night. Friday morning, y'all gonna get some racing footage if all goes well. Thanks.